Was good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in the building with another banger. And as y'all can see, man, by the looks of the title and the screen today, I'm going to be bringing y'all another 7-3 center build, over 100 badges, and on top of all that, y'all, we're going to be able to get the big man contact dunks. We're going to be able to shoot, and also on top of all that, this is easily one of the best, if not the best, versatile paint beast build and big man all around that you're going to be seeing all year. So again, man, before we get any further, I just gotta say thank God for giving me this opportunity to be able to be a part of your lives, but also have you in mind. And also, man, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Anybody looking to join the Rich Gang family RGF, go ahead and turn on post notifications, man. But also, don't forget to hit that like button, y'all. Can we go ahead and get 50 likes on this banger? Be sure to share it with your family and friends. And now, man, let's go ahead and get into the making of one of the best centers that you're going to be seeing all year. So when it comes down to it, the very first thing that y'all want to go ahead and do, if you were paying attention, this build is going to be made out of the center position. Now, when it comes down to the height, this has got to be 7-3 in order to follow everything that comes with this build, getting over 100 badges, and also on top of all that, also being able to be the tallest defender and also offensive player on the floor at all times. Now, when it comes down to the weight, I'm going to go with 244, and then as for the wingspan, I'm going to be going with 7'7", y'all. Now, you can go with the max if you want to, or the lowest, but again, that is subjected to change the build name as well as the kind of stats that you're going to be able to get. Also, you're going to be able to really do a lot of different things when it comes down to this build. Just be sure that when it comes down to the body shape, y'all decide to pick builds that's going to be the biggest one and take up the most space on the defensive end. So honestly, that is why I highly recommend going about it that way. Now, when it comes down to the rest of these builds, I'm just going to be sure to make sure that I bring y'all the very best when it comes to the stats as well as the badge counts. So y'all do not have to worry about this when it comes down to it. But when it comes to the finishing, we're going to go with an 86 close shot, 60 driving layup, 64 driving dunk, 92 standing dunk, and an 87 post control. We get 28 badges right there, and y'all already know that when it comes down to the badges that we actually unlock, not bad at all, especially when you know what you are doing with the badge setups as well as the stat setups. Now, when it comes down to the shooting, we're going to go with a mid-range shot of 82, three-point shot of a 79, and then as for the free throw, we're going to go ahead and put this up to an 84, and right there, we're going to be able to get 23 shooting badges, y'all. Now, I'm telling you, even the badges that we get out of the shooting are going to be very solid. There's going to be a lot of things that you can do on the offensive end with this build, but more so, even when it comes down to the defensive end, this is really going to be a 1v1 type build, but also, you're going to be able to run threes, going to be able to take it into any type of game mode, y'all. Now, when it comes down to the playmaking, I'm going to go with the pass accuracy of 87, and as you can see right here, we already get 17 badges, which is not bad when it comes down to this kind of build. And also on top of that as well, you're really going to be able to use almost every single badge when it comes down to the playmaking. You can always adjust the playmaking stats if you want to, but I'm telling you, this is going to be the perfect way to go about it. Now, remember, this is a big man build, not really looking for the dribbling. So again, if you want to make this build with the dribbling, you could go ahead and take your own risk at that. But now, let's go ahead and get into the defensive badges. So, interior defense, going to be an 85. Perimeter, max it out at 50 because we're actually going to be able to get Hustler on gold, which is really going to help us out when it comes down to the badges. And then block 97, offensive rebound 90, and defensive rebound a 93, y'all. Look, we're going to be able to get some really nice defensive badges on this build, especially when it comes down to getting Hustler on gold. I have to say that easily that is going to be the badge that you really want to go ahead and put on this build, especially when you're playing on ball. Now, if you want to, you can go ahead and drop down your perimeter defense, which unlocks Hustler on gold, but I would just go ahead and leave it as is. Let's go ahead and get into these physicals. Now, as you can see right here, when it comes down to the speed, we're going to go with a 58, acceleration 55, strength an 80, and then when it comes down to the vertical, we're actually going to go ahead and put this all the way to a 60, which is going to be perfect. And then that means we can go ahead and put the rest into the stamina at a 90, y'all. So the looks of this build, I'm telling you, you're really going to be able to do everything that you want out of the perfect center build shown on the screen. Now you can always make your own adjustments. Just remember, if you do end up doing that, you do risk the badge setup of getting over 100 badges, but also the build name that we got today. Now remember, you can also change the heights, the weights, the wingspan, even the position. It really just comes down to what you want to do and risk. But as you can see, with these takeovers, we get the sharpshooting, rim protecting, glass cleaning, as well as the post scoring, y'all. I'm telling you, this build is really going to be able to do everything that you want, especially when you take into account the takeovers that we unlocked. Now, if you want to, I would highly recommend picking one of the offensive takeovers first. I would go with power backdowns or advanced post moves. I'm just going to leave that option up to y'all. But the second one, you can definitely go ahead and put on one of the defensive ones. For me, I would go with the sharpshooting. And as y'all can see, we have made the first ever versatile paint beast, and this build is going to be 7-3. I love the comparisons of Rudy Gobert as well as Joel Embiid, y'all. Now, when it comes down to this build at 99 and maxed out, we just want to go ahead and make sure of a couple different things. So remember, we're going to have a teammate that has floor general as well as defensive leader in Hall of Fame, +4 to our offense and defensive stats. Then when it comes down to bind boost, that's another +4, so +8 in total. And then depending on the takeover that you picked, whether you picked the defensive takeovers or the offensive, you're going to be getting a +10 to those specific stats. So I chose the post scoring, which is a +10 to our finishing, and the shooting, which is a +10 to our shooting. So essentially, you're going to be able to get a 99 close shot, going to be able to get a 99 standing dunk, 99 post control. Then with the shooting, you're going to be able to get a 99 mid-range for sure. When it comes down to the three-pointer, this is going to be in the high 90s. Free throw, 99, and then when it comes down to the regular boost for the playmaking and defensive, that's a +8. So our pass accuracy will be in the high 90s. Then for that interior defense, this is going to be in the 90s as well. Then the rest of the defensive stats will be able to hit the high 90s. Now just remember, this is the way that I made this build. So there's going to be multiple ways that you can go about it. But again, just remember, this all comes down to your preferences and what you want to do when it comes down to how this build is going to look, because you're going to be the one using it, not me. So that is why I say, as long as you go with a setup that you are comfortable with, everything is going to work out in your favor. But now, let's go ahead and get into the badge setup. When it comes down to the finishing, I'm going to go with the main ones. First, you got to go ahead and go with these. I would say posterizer. You could go with limitless takeoff for sure. The rest of the way, it just comes down to which badges you'd like to run. Again, remember, you can also go ahead and add in a lot of post scoring badges when it comes down to this build. For example, for the shooting, Fade Ace is one that you can definitely consider. But now, let's go ahead and get into the badge count right here. I'm going to go with blinders, corner specialist, sniper is definitely needed, as well as hot zone hunter. But if you feel like changing any of the setups that we got right here, you definitely can do that. Again, it just comes down to trying to raise your shooting stats, and that is the main thing that I would highly recommend looking at when it comes down to doing these kind of builds. But now let's go ahead and get into the playmaking. What I'm going to go ahead and do is go with gold bullet passer first. From there, there's a lot of different badges that we can use, but these are all going to be mainly for our teammates, except for break starter. Now, I could go with Hall of Fame if I want to, but I really feel like it's going to be best to spread the wealth in this category, as you can see what I'm doing here. But just remember, this is all based on my preference. You can always go about it how you want. But now let's go ahead and get into the making of the defensive side of the badges. Now, the very first one I'm going to go with is going to be Rim Protector in Hall of Fame. I remember how I told y'all Hustler on gold is going to be another really good badge, so I'm going to go ahead and throw that in. Then from there, I'm going with Hall of Fame Chaser Artist as well as Intimidator. Now, you cannot forget about Rebound Chaser. I'm going to go ahead and put that on gold. Then as for the very last couple of badges, these all come down to what you want to do, but I'm telling you right now, if you feel like changing the setup of this build, you definitely can go about it that way. As you can see, There are a couple of different setups that you can run with. If you really want to, you can go ahead and put on box on gold to end it off with pogo stick on Hall of Fame. That is a really nice setup, and this is what I'm going to be running with when it comes down to this kind of build. We're going to have 28 finishing badges, 23 shooting, 17 playmaking, and 34 defensive, y'all. Again, before I get y'all out of here, man, I just got to go ahead and say thank God for giving me this opportunity to be a part of your lives, but also have you in mind. None of this would be possible without him, but also none of the support would be here without y'all. So I just need y'all to know that I love y'all, I appreciate y'all, and I thank y'all. I got more bangers this week in store for y'all. So, man, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Anybody who wants to join the Rich Gang family, go ahead and turn on post notifications, but also hit that like button. Let's go ahead and get 50 likes on this banger. Be sure to share it with your family and friends. And last but not least, with all that being said, I got one last thing to say. Thank God and Rich out.